Howdy, folks. It's Thursday. It is I'm on a lot of flights. I've been traveling a lot this week. You will not believe how many flights I've been on and how many places I've been. But this is the report for Thursday. There's also going to be another one for Friday. That's today when I'm putting this together. I didn't actually miss doing the Thursday report. I just didn't get it filed until Friday. I got a couple of videos coming up here that you might be interested in. I think you will. Why are children more resistant to COVID-19? That's pretty interesting. We went down under to Australia to find out what's going on down there, and they came up with a theory behind that. The storms are delaying the delivery of the vaccines and will affect us here in Florida to some extent. Then another question is, should we wear masks after the pandemic? We got somebody to tell us about that. And the deaths and cases are trending down for the past 16 days. And we have an expert to tell us about that. All coming up here on The Numbers here with Crider. And after the numbers, you'll see the numbers immediately following these videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back again at the end of the day today on Friday with another report with more new numbers. Back in a flash.
Now, a new study by researchers in Melbourne has looked at why children seem to be much more resistant to the worst effects of COVID-19 compared to adults. It's a question that scientists have been investigating since the start of the pandemic. Dr. Melanie Nealon from the Murdoch Children's Research Institute joins us now. Melanie, a very good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you on board. I'm very interested in this research. Tell us what it focused on in particular.
Yeah, so in this study, we actually enrolled children and adults from Melbourne households, and we explored differences in their immune responses, both in the children and adults who were positive for COVID-19. And we were interested in these immune response because, as you mentioned, we know that children are more likely to have mild disease compared to adults.
And what has this study found?
Yeah, so what we actually showed was the innate immune system, which is the part of our immune system responsible for our first line of defense against viruses and bacteria as they enter our body, was actually highly activated in children with COVID-19. And these children showed increased inflammatory responses, and they also showed activation of these first responder immune cells in the bloodstream. And so what was most interesting was that this strong and robust quick immune response was not observed in adults with COVID-19.
So why do adults therefore seem to lose this resistance as they move out of childhood?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and that's something we're still exploring, but we're definitely seeing some really key signatures suggesting that it is this first line inflammatory response that may be protecting children.
Okay, so of course we're all talking about the vaccination program. Welcome news for so many Australians. So does this research mean that kids should be given, as you found, their response to COVID at the back of the vaccination queue?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I think we really need to wait and see the results of clinical trials that are currently ongoing, assessing the safety and efficacy of these vaccines in children. And I also think it's important to remember that, you know, while most children will have a more mild disease, we do see a small proportion of children actually experiencing severe COVID, and they can become quite unwell. So I think it's important to also protect the children who may be more susceptible, and vaccines will be a great way to do that.
As I said, fascinating research. Melanie Nealon, thank you so much for coming on to talk about it this morning.
Thank you so much.
The extreme cold and snow now affecting supplies of the COVID vaccine here in Florida.
News Channel 5's Matt Cesney has more on how long supplies could be delayed.
It's been nothing but frustration and disappointment for Kathy Webney to get a vaccine appointment.
And then when you did get onto the Florida site, within 45 minutes, it was booked.
Her next shot at getting a shot from Publix on Wednesday has now been canceled. Winter weather in the country delaying vaccine shipments. The state says 200,000 Moderna doses expected today are now delayed until Thursday, and they're warning providers to plan for delays in deliveries.
What's happening is the vaccines is not necessarily being produced in Florida. So wherever the production facilities for these vaccines are, right now, currently, there's a big disruption happening.
Second Oskol teaches about supply chain management at the University of South Florida. He says this disruption is not expected to last long.
So it's probably going to, impact the supply chain 1 or 2 days.
But it is enough to force those waiting for the vaccine to wait some more. Palm Beach County's health department says a Pfizer shipment on Monday arrived on time, but 4,500 Moderna doses have been delayed because of weather.
It's very stressful. You know, I don't go anywhere. I go to the grocery store and that's it. I don't even go visit my mom. My mom is 87. I don't want to bring anything to her.
The state of Florida says any vaccination appointments should not be canceled, but rescheduled if necessary. Publix at Last Word tells us that any vaccination appointments for Wednesday and Thursday are still on. In West Palm Beach, Matt Cesny, WPTV, News Channel 5.
So here is the rebound rundown. The state says 200,000 Moderna doses are now delayed until Thursday. The state is warning providers to plan for the delays in deliveries, but not to cancel appointments. Publix is postponing tomorrow's online appointment system.
All right, so we have a talker for you this morning. We are where Atlanta speaks, and because the pandemic is such a hot button issue, we asked your thoughts on this one. Should people still wear masks when it's all over? Will you? Well, it's a cultural norm in countries like China or Japan to wear a face mask in public when you're not feeling well. As we've learned, it can keep you and your germs from spreading to others. But some political scientists say the habit is not likely to catch on here in the U.S. And a professor of public health at the University of South Florida says it all comes back to our individualism. It's hard to change people's mindset on this issue, especially now that it's so closely tied to our political views. So we asked you about this over on the 11 Alive Facebook page, and get this, we got more than 9,000 comments. Yeah, 9,000. So let's reach some of them. Cassandra says, yes, my girls are back in face-to-face school and have not gotten sick. I definitely attribute this to wearing masks. And Jay Blair says, in winter, likely. They keep my face warm, and I have not had a cold since last January. It makes sense in cold and flu season. And Cammie chimed in saying, no, I will not wear one. I don't like how it feels on, and I keep getting frustrated when I forget to put it on. Once we are allowed to go without it, I will be putting mine away. I miss seeing people's faces and smiles. And guys, I want to bring the team in on this one because we've been having conversations about this as well. And I'll go ahead and say, absolutely, when it comes to traveling and large spaces, I'll definitely keep the mask for, I want to say months and years to come as a norm, especially because I travel so often. What about you all?
I tend to get sick when I fly sometimes. And so I'm definitely going to keep the mask on while I'm flying. And perhaps, you know, in those smaller community events where you're meeting a lot of strangers and such, you know, I always bring the hand sanitizer, but the mask might be helpful as well. I'm thinking about in those situations.
Yeah, I really think the mask will become a stigma, like people will be ridiculed for wearing it, or you're made to feel less than because you're wearing the mask. I think a lot of things will change though, because people won't want to sit next to a person on a bus or a train, or even go to a movie or a concert and sit next to somebody you don't know. Think about it, when they sneeze, how you're going to feel next to that person. So I think a lot of our norms will change, but the mask will go away.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the numbers, first of all, because think about it. I have a feeling we're going to be the only country that's still dealing with COVID 2-3 years from now. We got half the country doesn't even want to get vaccinated. The other half isn't even wearing a mask right now. So what do they care about this? They're just going to continue to reinfect people. I mean, we got to get the vaccines out. Me personally, I'll continue to wear this thing for the next year if I have to.
Absolutely. Well, we want you to continue to chime in. Use the hashtag MorningRushATL. Many of you, like I said, 9,000 have already chimed in, and we'll be posting our chat as well this morning.
Yes, I mean, the global situation remains mixed. As we've been saying over the last many times we've done these Facebook Lives, these social media lives, we have seen some good trends. In the last 5 weeks, we've seen a decline in case incidents and case numbers, and we're also starting to see a decline in deaths. In the last week, I'm looking at my cheat sheet over here, in our weekly epidemiologic report that was published yesterday. You can see in that, and that's on our website, that there's been a 16% global reduction in case numbers in the last 7 days. And we've really seen a decline in almost all regions of WHO regions, with the exception of the Eastern Mediterranean region, which saw a slight increase. But we've seen a decline in the percentage of deaths in the last week as well. There's been a 10% decline in deaths. But if you look at the global picture, it's really dominated by a handful of countries that are showing a rapid decline in cases. But the picture at the regional level is mixed. And of course, within some countries, not all countries are seeing the same rates of decline.
Well, as they say, better late than never, but also better never late. At least we came off with a little bit of good news about our deaths coming down worldwide for the past 16 days. And even here in the United States, they're coming down also. That's very good news. These are the most recent numbers I have. Today I will be doing 2 sets of numbers. First set of numbers today I got in yesterday afternoon. So we're looking at this. 165 new deaths. That was up by 7 over the previous day of 158. As far as positives are concerned, 5,117. That was down by 2,225. The previous day it was 7,342. So that was a good thing. Some days are up, some days are down. Sorry about that. I also have another number I want to show you. I have to go across here for you. The total number of vaccinations for the entire state of Florida, 3,783,965. And the total number of vaccinations in the past 24 hours, this would be about 36 hours ago, 109,807. And the positivity rate for the entire state of Florida is actually down to 6.40. That's a teeny bit down from the previous day. Not much, but it is on the downward trend. Let's take a look at Miami-Dade. 13 new deaths to report, 817 new positives, 5,830 new vaccinations. In Broward County, that's Fort Lauderdale, 14 new deaths to report, 601 new positives, 5,384 new vaccinations in the Broward County, Fort Lauderdale area. And then in the Palm Beaches, 21 new deaths to report, 415 new positives, 3,936 new vaccinations. In Orange County, that's Orlando, no new deaths to report up there, 306 new positives and 1,941 new vaccinations. In Brevard County, that's Melbourne, 4 new deaths to report, 110 new positives, 1,483 new vaccinations in the Melbourne area. Now, in St. Lucie County, 3 new deaths to report, 89 new positives, 928 new vaccinations. St. Lucie County is Fort Pierce. In Martin County, 3 new deaths to report, 29 new positives, and 715 new vaccinations in Martin County, and Martin County is Stewart. Indian River County is Vero Beach, where I live, 0, no new deaths to report, 22 new positives, and 1,046 new vaccinations in Indian River County. Now we're going to go down here and take a look at these zip codes for Indian River County. Zip code 32948. These are all going to be positives now. Zip code 32948. No new positives in that zip code. Zip code 32958. 3 new positives. In zip code 32960, Vero Beach proper, 7 new positives. Zip code 32962, 10 new positives. Zip code 32963, 2 new positives. That's here on the Barrier Island, or on the Barrier Island where I live. Don't happen to be there at the moment. Zip code 32966, 1. Zip code 32967, 6. And zip code 32968, 0. So those are the new positives for the zip codes here in Vero Beach. Now we're going to go down here and take a look at the 7-day moving averages. Now these are everything from previous day. I will do the ones coming up today. This is Friday. I'll do the Friday report a little bit later today. But for yesterday, the 7-day moving averages, 156.86. That means approximately 156 people passed away each day for the past 7 days, and that's down from 158.43. Let's go down here now and take a look at what we refer to as the states view, the states of the United States. Total number of vaccinations administered in the United States so far, 57,395,477. In the past 24 hours, 1,608,366, and the government has used up almost 80% of their supply of vaccinations so far, but there are more on the way. Texas did 106,240. They've used up 84% of their supply. California vaccinated 192,243. They've used up 76% of their supply. Here in Florida, 109,807. We've used up 78% of our supply. Rhode Island, 5,376 new vaccinations. They've used up 70% of their supply. Colorado, 33,875. They used up 83% of their supply. Wisconsin, 28,667. They used up 80% 2% of their supply. Hope I can get these numbers out here. Minnesota, 27,176. They've used up 81% of their supply. And in New Jersey, 47,383. They've used up 82% of their supply. And in New York, the state of New York, 100,217, and they have used up 83% of their supply. Now, I also give you these numbers of the number of people who passed away 48 hours ago in the entire United States was 2,537, in Texas 76, California 409, Florida 158, Rhode Island 8, Colorado 10, Wisconsin 10, Minnesota 10, Jersey 135, and in New York City 122. Once again, let me show you something else. Look at this. Look at this for the Dakotas. The Dakotas are doing so well up there. I'm having trouble finding it, but I know it's there. Here we go. Dakota's 0 in both North Dakota and South Dakota. Alrighty, folks, so let's jump up here to what we refer to as the global view. The global view, these are the biggest numbers we report every day. USA cases since we started, 27,896,703. USA deaths, 493,119. I know that number is going to be over 500,000 today, I believe. I think it's very close to that, but this is what was yesterday. But the new numbers will be in at the end of the day today, and we'll be able to take. Well, actually, no, these are the new numbers. These are absolutely the new numbers for today. These are accurate to within 11 minutes ago. So it's 493,119. So we're pretty much up to date with these numbers. The number of people who contracted COVID-19 worldwide, this is 110,394,000. Number of people who passed away with COVID, 2,443,548. So again, the numbers that I'm giving you here now on the global view, these numbers are accurate right now to within 11 minutes of when this video was being put together, and that would be at 7:08 on Friday. Alrighty, folks, thank you very much for watching this video. Apologize for getting it up late, but as I said, I will be putting another video up on Friday today as well, which will give you another new update. But see, I don't get those numbers in until like around 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So by the latest 6 o'clock. Now, as you may recall, earlier on when we started doing this, I was getting them up by 9 or 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning because I got them first thing in the morning. Well, they changed that whole procedure pretty much after the first of the year, and they all started coming in later on in the afternoon. So that's why everything has changed somewhat. Alrighty, folks, have a very blessed Friday. I'll see you back here again today on Friday towards the end of the day.